Greetings, body jugglers. This is Satek Ananda from the famous Body Juggling Zendo here in Dallas, Texas, with my newest client, Shayla. Say hello, Shayla.
Hi.
And then, of course, Miss Moonflower is going to be assisting us today in various capacities. Can you give everyone a quick idea of what it is that you've been dealing with in your brain and your body for the past however long, and what you're hoping to gain from this wonderful process of circus, emotion, love?
8 years ago, I sustained injury to my cerebellum, which controls motor skills, coordination, balance, equilibrium, and because it's been damaged, I don't have balance. I'm always kind of wavy, dizzy, like similar to being really drunk. I have tremors in my hands, in my eyes. So I generally live with shakiness and unsteadiness. And I want to be able to, A, have those symptoms be abated completely, and B, be able to move freely again. I lack independent motion right now, which is what I really want.
And how long have you been dealing with this?
8 years.
8 years, and the problem was originally oxygen deprivation, correct?
Two things, lack of oxygen and malnutrition.
Malnutrition.
Combination, it wasn't just lack of oxygen.
Got you. Awesome, and you've done 2 sessions total on the bar at this point, right?
Right.
Your first session, and then we have 1 of your package. So this is technically her 3rd session, but we're calling this session 2 because you just started for real. This Tuesday, this is her 2nd session this week. Can you tell me about anything specifically that you've learned in your body and your energy so far through what we've been doing? 2
things. As I walk through my house now, I'm more focused on my hips being more relaxed and my knees bending. Those 2 things I've integrated into I'm starting to walk more without a walker in the home.
Nice, that's so necessary.
So those 2 things, as I walk, I'm more conscious of my hips and my knees.
Nice.
It's been so stiff.
And I know that when you first started trying to soften your hips and your knees, it made you feel more dizzy, more unsure. Is it still unsure, or is it getting better?
I have to watch it. I have to measure my movements. I can't just relax and then start walking.
Right.
It's a process in my brain. Any movement I do takes a concerted, focused effort. I can't just move like you guys do. I have to actually think about it and think about holding my balance and think about relaxing. All these little things that come naturally, easily.
Mm-hmm.
I have it for you guys. I have to actually construct in my mind first before I can do it.
Awesome. Okay, so we're not, because she's dealing with a specific problem, and that problem is expressly neurological, which is directly connected to the nervous system, and the nervous system is all over your body, not just in your brain. We're not really coming at this from a sculpt and burn standpoint or a dragonfly standpoint. We're coming from this from a learning how to feel and reintegrate basic movements of the body. So you're not going to see her doing, inverted splits or, upside down stuff or heavy like leg raising stuff. Everything we're going to do here is about teaching her body to relax, soften, and feel its own natural equilibrium more and more. We're going to start on the ball with the bar. We're going to move to just ball, you and me, and then we're probably going to end up on the floor with what we call authentic movement, which is exactly addresses what you just said, that every movement requires this thought, this processing, and whatever. What authentic movement does is it puts you in a space for spontaneous movement, for spontaneous expression. And what happens is when you put your body in a place of spontaneous expression, your emotions get into a space of spontaneous expression as well. And the catharsis that can happen between that symbiosis is very, very powerful. And everybody has their own experience with it. Everybody has their own takeaways from it, and everyone has their own level of fear with the experience of the process, because it is so intense. It is so like just sticking a mirror in front of yourself and then putting a camera behind the mirror and being like, be you, right? Like, I don't know, what does that mean? But when you allow yourself to sink into, basically, it's nothing more than freedom. When you give yourself permission to sink into a space of freedom, you experience freedom. Freedom comes out, And sometimes that leads to sadness, sometimes it leads to bliss, exaltation. Very often it leads through a kind of like a story arc of like some good, some bad, oh, really bad, and then back, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take its own course. But what's important is that conscious experience of freedom, making the decision to stop the critical mind, to stop the inner critic from making you second guess. Okay, so we're gonna go into that probably in the last 20 minutes or so. Any questions before we begin? Any questions from the beautiful assistant?
Not right now.
Not right now. Not right now. Okay, so we're recording this on Hangouts for multiple purposes, mainly so that she can witness her own experience and I can keep track of her process, because I'm a very intuitive, like everything I do is intuitive, whether it's directing, coaching, writing, you know, painting, whatever. So I often don't have concrete like step A, step B, because I just know, I feel what happens and I go with that part of the experience. So having Google Hangout sessions helps me have a concrete, like this was A, this was B. And so it can be really helpful, and especially in a situation where you have so much to gain from any growth. Like even a tiny bit of growth is gonna result in dramatic improvements in your daily life, you know? So I definitely wanna have a record of that. Awesome, well on that note, we're gonna see if we can get away with quiet music and Google not turning us off, and we're gonna get to town. Like I said, fly on the wall, but please feel free to interact anywhere that it feels relevant, and shoot when it feels relevant. And if you feel called to interact, let yourself. Trust your intuition. Cool. Sweet, let's do this. I'm gonna take this down. Okay, so let's start with you doing the best walk you can muster back to the bar.
By myself?
By yourself. You still feel that point where you find the flow and you just go with it?
Yeah.
It gets so much easier.
Yeah, I have to push to the fear, push to the.
Right. Once you get into that flow, then it's like, and then it's like here. But as long as it's like that beginning, it's like it's an inertia thing. You know what inertia is? Movement. It's movement. And when it's still, then all the energy is still. And it takes energy to get it moving. Once it's moving, then it's moving.
Right.
And it takes energy to stop it, right? So it's that starting of your inertia. That's the, you know, and then once you get flowing, it's good. So one of the things I want to do soon, not today, is I want to do a game with you of just dropping straight into the flow. Right? Just like literally, like you got a bungee jump, we got to let it just, I want you to practice dropping in the flow and just going with it and see. Because here's the thing about walking, and I told you this last time, it's like, it's stylized falling. Walking doesn't happen by feeling every single point of that. Like this is Tai Chi. Like normal people can't walk like this. This is not how walking happens. Walking happens like this. And your foot catches you over and over and over again. That's the importance of the softness of the knees. Is the softness of the knee is going to allow you to come into that step like this, as opposed to that Frankenstein straight leg thing. It's going to allow that. The hip, the importance is if I'm walking, every single time I take a step, my hip has to shift over that foot that's supporting me. So those are the two most important elements in what you're dealing with right now. We do want to work with the ankles because the ankles are hugely important to balance.
Right.
Most of my balance when I come onto one foot happens in that ankle. And when you go to balance, I don't see that that's going on in my ankle. I don't see that. Remember when we were balancing on the ball and I told you it's all about the hips, right? That's where it comes from there. When you're standing, it comes from that ankle. So we'll work with the ankles too. But right now, I want you to keep focusing on the hips and the knees. Alright, so we're gonna let you play with this ball a little bit today. And you're gonna sit this side facing me. No, this side. You're gonna face me. Leg over. Yep. And you're gonna find a comfortable position. And you're just gonna let yourself begin to stretch. And I'm gonna stretch beside you. And you can copy my stretches. You can do your own stretches. Doesn't really matter. I want you to just start to open your body. Just feel where those limits of your joints are. And just like in yoga, you're going to use the position of your body to stretch those parts. So I'm going to stretch here in my shoulder. I'm going to stretch here in my hips. And then I come backwards. And then shake that head, those shoulders, that spine. Now the hips are going to come back forward again. And backwards. Now see if you can split your legs. Split your legs.
That?
Look. It's going to be harder because you're on a smaller ball. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Still searching for a stretch. Good. Nice.
I feel that in my inner thighs.
Good.
Oh my God.
That's what's important.
Oh.
You can let go either end if you need to.
Nothing.
That's good. That's good. So I found that if I teach people a whole lot of specific movements, they end up.
Come back out.
There we go. Yeah, there you go. Good job. Grab the other side. Good. So if I teach people a whole bunch of specific, and you can come to the back, that's a pigeon. Here. If I teach people a whole, we're still overexposed there. If I teach people a whole bunch of specific movements, then they have trouble creating their own stretches and their own movements. Try to get that leg behind you if you can. So yeah, start standing behind the ball. There you go. And then, yep. Nice. So I found that if I teach people a whole lot of specific exercises, they have trouble later on being expressive and exploring because they've been so ingrained into my language, you know? And so that was frustrating to me. So now I start teaching people to play, to freestyle, to improvise immediately, like the beginning. And all the warm-ups, I always want you to treat them like just improvisational games. So always let yourself explore and really feel.
Just like, oh, this feels good side to side, like that.
I love that side to side. Especially for the piriformis when you go out.
keeps going away. Stay.
Sorry. It's really hard to get an actual round fitness ball. They're all shaped like eggs. Okay, as soon as you're done with that one, I'll get you back on the big ball. I want you to show me your monkey crawl. Remember monkey crawl?
Mhm.
Love that. You'll like the monkey crawl too. If you think about it, get any shots or tattoos that you can. I want shots of tattoos. Alright, so you're gonna hop on.
That way, feet forward.
Facing this way, feet forward. Good job with that foot. So remember, you want to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then sorry, come on. You're gonna twist under.
The ball too far back.
Come back up.
Feeling is the worst.
I can only imagine with whatever
Yeah, I'm feeling.
you got going on in the brain. I can imagine. Let's see. Is that?
Like this. Keep.
Hold on. Come back up. So just follow me. Don't try to do anything. Just follow me. Back up. Okay. Again. Just follow. Yep. Okay. So it's that as opposed to this. All right.
Oh,
You feel the difference?
yeah.
So not this.
Not this,
But
that.
this.
Ah, okay.
Now reach with that foot. Let that leg go under too. Yeah. Hold on, come back up. I'm not actually in the center.
Yeah.
Stand up. Get you up there. Bring that up. No. And if you scoot the ball forward just a little bit, so you can put your feet down, and raise up. Woo. Yeah. Good. Now you're gonna go down on your side, reach with that foot. So your chest is trying to roll off the ball. I want it to sink down on the side. There you go. Got it? Boom. Now twist onto your back. You're not going anywhere, so don't freak out. Yeah, now put that other foot on the bar and let your knees bend. Bend those knees. Bend those knees. Yeah, walk yourself down. Good. Yep. Let the spine relax. Can you,
Too much on one side.
you're not centered?
Not there.
Good. Better. Back up. That's okay. That's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I wasn't centered on the ball.
Come back up. Come back up. Standing up for me. So I want you to watch again. See how this works. From right here. See how I'm not straining,
Yeah.
right? So if I go here, now it's getting hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what's the difference, Shanika? The part.
See, this shoulder is going straight down, so now I'm balanced. My body isn't being pulled that way. Now I can reach with that foot. And as soon as this connects, all my weight's going here now. I'm not using this to hold myself. All my weight's there. Now I twist to my back, gonna find my balance here. And with both hands and both feet, it's okay to find your balance. So like I can feel if I'm coming this way, I can feel if I'm coming that way. Now from here, you just bend your knees and you let your hands walk down. And right about here, you get a really good stretch in your low back. And then you relax my head. If this is better for your balance, you can leave it up. But I should relax it here. Then to come up, you walk with your hands, extend the knees. And then the left hand's gonna reach far away there, just back on the right side, still that foot's connected. And then pulling up, if I focus on this point, can be easy. If I don't focus on that point, it can feel really hard. But if I just focus on this, and I'm trying to balance myself first, here, now coming up, it's pretty easy. Make sense? Okay. We're just gonna do it at whatever level we can. That's the only way to learn anything, is to do it and see where you're at. And everything we learn, we can never do right at first because we don't know what we're doing. We need to do a little bit more right. A little bit more right. There you go. Gonna go shoulder drops. Yeah, don't cheat that way, don't cheat that way. Right here. Shoulder drops. Yeah, reach out. Both feet. There you go, reach for it. And put your weight on that foot. So now you're not straining, right?
Right.
Good. Now twist your back. Good. Put that foot down here. Feel your balance. Now slowly bend your legs. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Nice, nice. Now try to relax. See if you can relax your head back if that's comfortable. Good.
Still too much sugar in the ball. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Back up. Extend the legs. Yep, yep, yep. Walk the hands, beautiful. Now that left hand's gonna reach up there. Yep. And then twist on your side. Yes, yes.
Oh, I feel that.
Nice, guys. I love it.
I felt that. It was really good.
Very nice. Okay, one more. One more. Focus this down over the ball. And we're going to pivot. Yeah, like a fulcrum. Let those feet reach. You got it. And twist. Nice. Bend those knees. Hands walk down. And relax. Low down, low back, knees. I always use my exhale to relax even deeper, so I consciously visualize my muscles melting like butter with the exhale. Good. And gently extending, hands walking. Boom, boom. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking till your legs are all the way straight. Now reach out with this hand, twist to your side. And beautiful. And stand up and stretch it. High five. Nice. Okay. So now I'm actually going to move this out of the way first. So let's bring you over here to this. Get this out of the way. I'm going to do 2 balls without the bar, and I'm going to be your bar. I've done this since the bar's been in here, so we'll see how this works.
Yes.
So close.
So close, but no. There you go.
Backstage theater.
Here it is.
Oh yeah. All right, so now we're gonna work with 2 balls, and I'm gonna be your bar.
Okay.
I want you to fall. I want you to fall. Yeah. Nice, nice. facing me. I'll move closer to you once your butt's on top. Back further. Yeah.
Not feeling on the ground or no?
No.
Really?
Yeah, unfloat. Good. Yep, exactly. I'm looking for your hips. So what I'm looking for is seeing that her hips are feeling which direction she's moving, and they're compensating appropriately. Nice. That rolling forward was your tough one. You got that pretty quick, so that's good. So what I can see now is your hips are feeling it and moving it, but they're taking a little while. So see if you can let it feel it quicker. As soon as you feel it going back, hips go back. Yes. As soon as you feel yourself coming forward, hips go forward. Yes. And remember, okay, so come back to center. Remember when your hips come forward, what does your chest do?
Back.
Yep. There you go. You feel the difference?
Yeah, I do.
Now back's gonna be a little bit scary for you, but you're holding. I got you, right? You're not gonna go anywhere. Good. Now let yourself hang all the way back, all forward fold. Relax. Yes. Good. Good. So I can still feel some tension in your arms. I want you to, concentrate on relaxing that tension and trusting me to balance you. Good. I got you. Relax. I got you. Just doing a gentle rock. Yep. Good. That's how we increase. Yes. Nice. That's how we increase the balance. Come on, up, gently rolling up. Keep your balance. Yes. Nice.
When that happens, I have a second reaction, just anger.
That's good to notice. Nice. Okay. So now you're gonna put your feet on my knee. Stop it! Shh. Feel my knees.
Sorry, can I hold my arms? No.
I'm just gonna balance. And now I want you to try to let go of my hands and use your feet to balance.
No.
Try. Good.
No.
Good.
No.
Right, you gotta use your hips. Remember, gotta be your hips. You use your feet as grounding. Your feet are connected to me and they're stable. Okay, so don't imagine that you don't have stability. Yes, there you go. Good. Let's see if you can sit up. That's a good idea. Use the.
I'm nauseous. Oh.
Stand up if you need to. Let us know if you need something you can do.
No, I think it's just that I felt that for all this. Crazy nausea, that's interesting.
Nausea is very often connected to fear. Very often.
Yeah. It's I'm observing, it's interesting.
Doing a great job.
It passed. It's interesting.
Say what?
It passed.
Don't even worry about if it comes back. Just let it pass again. Okay, so where we're going is I'm going to support you from your legs, not from your arms, okay? So it's going to be like this. Now lay back. Good. Good. All right, so you're safe here. I got you. So even if you start to go here, I still got you. And even if you start to go here, I still got you. Okay? And if you come this way, I'm going to have to separate our balls just a little bit. I got you. That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Just relax everything that makes you feel afraid. Just let it go. You've done this plenty of times with people much heavier than you. You're set. If at any point your neck starts to get tired, let me know, because depending on what you got history-wise in your spine and neck, that could get overstretchy, but as you get weak, you'll probably be let your hips drop. Yeah. So for this kind of stuff on, if you're shooting video, zoom in and like get her like face or chest, little pieces, rather than shooting the whole thing, because it makes it visually more interesting. But you're doing a great job. I like how you're coming in and out with the cord. I can feel the gigabytes I'm saving. Traction. Nice. That was past where you've been before, and I didn't feel any fear. That's awesome. The fear in your nervous system is one of the things that creates that friction. It makes the flow of information slower, so that your muscles can't react as quickly as they need to. So you want to really start to pay attention to that fear, that friction, and play games that teach it that it's okay. You got to teach your nervous system to trust again. Okay, so you're going to give me your hands. And from here, don't leave your feet where they are, on my hips. From here, I want you to curl your spine up as you push with your knees, push with your legs, yep. Keep pushing, yep, keep pushing.
Yeah.
Come back. Yeah, push. You all the way to the top, all the way to the top. Now let go of your feet. Let go of your feet. Oh. Now stand up. Shake out.
I'll lay down.
Close. So, what did you learn in that experience?
And the whole part, the flowing part was really, and I started like got fear.
Yes, I felt it in your muscles.
And yeah, I sort of relaxed and I got fear. The fear returned and they're coming out. That was
Coming out.
really
It's
scary.
okay. That's right.
My legs there, it's completely not a posture that we normally do.
Right. And you're going to get a lot of that in BodyJugging. You're going to get a lot of positions your body has never been in.
Exactly. And then on top of that, so it was intense coming out.
Awesome. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing. Come on this side. Oops. Put that anywhere. Walk towards me. Face me. You're going to lay over the ball forwards. So hold your belly up. Down. Relax. Good. Okay, so now this is the same game. I want you to relax your feet, relax your legs. Yep. And I'm just going to play with you. And all I'm doing, don't grab the floor. Just let everything relax. I'm going to play with you. And I'm feeling, particularly for fear. I'm feeling for hesitation.
So my foot is on the ground.
Right, relax it. Can you point it?
No, that foot can't. It's
Okay,
the
just-
very times I can't.
We'll just keep that knee soft and relaxed and keep that hip soft and relaxed. So if your body can learn to relax in all these really weird, unnatural positions, it's going to be much easier for it to relax in all the normal positions that it's going to be in walking. And eventually running. Relax that. Shoulders. Nice, nice.
Phil, what time do you guys gonna head out for their house hunting tomorrow?
Say what?
What time do you guys head out for your house hunting?
Don't know yet. When do you need to be? Where do you need to be?
Well, there's a 10 a.m. yoga class that I was gonna invite the vet to. That way, then you can still go do your house hunting in that room. On the house and street.
Good. Okay, now I want you to, as softly and as slowly, as gracefully as you can, to come up from there. You can rock the ball, you can leave the ball still, you can scorpion up if you want to, you can move your knees, your feet, whatever feels most natural to get up from there. Yeah. And as you're getting up, notice any stretches, notice any.
Ooh, you did it.
You did it! Nice! Look good. Awesome. Okay. So let's come back over here to the camera real quick. Follow us. Soft hips, soft knees, let yourself fall. Yep, nice, nice, good.
Oh,
Stretch anything that needs to stretch.
I have a bit of a headache that really, a headache, like, whatever you did swirled stuff in my head. It's like,
Like when you get up too quick?
yeah, but it was happening
Head rub?
even when I was laying on the ball, started happening.
On your belly? Probably blood going to your head.
Yeah. And-
Because you're not upside down very often, right?
So I'm just-
See. Okay, so we're terribly overexposed here because of all the light that
Light,
comes in
yeah.
from outside. So sorry, guys. I still haven't found any way to attenuate the auto exposure on a MacBook Pro. So maybe you can. She used to work for Apple. Maybe you can like help me figure that out. But yeah, so exposure is always a problem here, but that's okay. So now we're going to take all of those lessons. We learned about balance. We learned about fear. We learned about resistance in the muscles. And we're going to go into authentic movement. And the beauty of this is that kind of where she's at right now in her life is this struggle of frustration with the process of not being well, right? This struggle with years and years of not being able to balance and needing people's help. And it's building to a specific point in her. And so what I want you to use this authentic movement experience for is to really face and embody all of the resistance in you that comes up with this idea you said that I'm going to be sick forever. I'm going to be sick forever, okay? Some of it might be visual, some of it might be kinesthetic, some of it might need to happen through movement.
Does it embody that reality?
Yes, yes. It's gonna be much simpler than you will think if you sit here and think about it. Here's the way it works. Authentic movement, there's only a couple of principles. Number one, there's always a witness and there's always a mover, okay? The mover is the one that does the moving. The witness is the one that does the witnessing. The witness witnesses like a meditation. You don't witness checking your phone or like dilly-dallying or watching outside. You witness like a meditative focus. The mover simply moves, okay? It's not called authentic dance. It's not about doing some cool thing or whatever. It's about movement, and the only rule is that you avoid patterns. So you're not gonna get up here and start doing a belly dance routine or start doing a Tai Chi form, right? You're not gonna do the Roomba. You're gonna begin moving, and you're gonna let every movement create the next movement. For me, I very often start out in stretching, right? And then it usually becomes emotive. Once I start stretching and feeling different parts of my body open, then it becomes emotive, and mine very often gets like interpretive. So it's like I'm telling a story through movement. That's not at all necessary. Some people will just roll on the ground and writhe for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? There is no right or wrong way to do it. The idea is freedom and avoiding patterns. Close your eyes, go inward. If you need to open your eyes for balance or for space, that's fine. But the more your eyes stay closed, the deeper internal experience you're gonna have, okay? Now, because this process is intimidating to everyone who does it, and probably least so to you, because you love to dance and you love to move so much, I usually do an example first. I don't really like to do that because then people see my movement and feel like that's what they're supposed to do. That's not the point. And I often hold back on my expression when I do it. But, and if you feel like you can jump in without seeing it, then that's perfectly fine. If you would like to see me demonstrate, then I can. I'll give you that, you know, either way. It's not about doing it like anybody else. It's about giving yourself the freedom to experience your body moving
Yeah, I would
itself.
like to just to understand what you're saying, the
Awesome.
concept.
Now, typically, authentic movement is done with no music. We're gonna do it with no music today because I don't have my favorite stuff. I love to use music because it's emotive,
Absolutely.
right? Typically, it's done with no music for that express purpose of they don't want to imprint you. They want your experience to come from within. I get that. I've done it a lot without music. I typically use it. Today, we're gonna do it normal style, especially because it'll make it easier with Hangouts, not having any problems. It really is about you. And when you hear the music, especially the kind of music that I pick, I get like, you know, like score tracks from like, you know, Gladiator, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
just really emotional, like, and it really affects, and it becomes more of an artistic, expressive thing than like an internal, personal healing thing, which is beautiful and it's cathartic in its own way. But what we're gonna do right now is more true to what authentic movement really is, which is about tapping into whatever's there. Okay, so you guys can scoot to the side. I'm gonna tilt this down and I'm gonna do a quick one myself. There's never any time limit on it, so you just move until your body stops moving.
Am I gonna be standing or sitting?
You're gonna start on the floor.
Okay, good.
We're skating to the
Sit,
side.
sit and spin. Sit and slide. So you start in any static position. I almost always start on the floor, and most people seem to start on the floor. In your case, it will obviously be better if you start on the floor. So you find a still position, and that's your starting position. As soon as you begin moving, you let yourself move until you stop. And when you're done, you know it.
No music?
No music. If you want me to, I can go grab a disc for you real
I
quick.
would love some music.
Okay. So then after that experience, the witness and the mover both share, not critiques, not ideas about what was good or bad or whatever, what anything meant, but what you felt. So I would ask you what you felt while watching and accept whatever you say, and then I would tell you what I felt while moving. Right? So you guys hop in front of camera and tell each other what y'all felt while watching me, and I'll go grab a disc.
I didn't feel damage.
What?
I didn't really pay attention to what I felt. You can say if you started with that, I would have known to.
I think she was just observing the
Yeah,
physical,
yeah.
the
Like
the
what
instruction.
that concept, I really was just about absorbing the concept. I didn't really.
Okay, we'll just get out there and get ready then. Let's see if I can find a. See if I can find.
And I got it watching it.
No. Go back in here. Go back this way.
Okay, so you will need to talk about what you felt during this process.
Sure, now I get that.
And is she to focus her attention and her thoughts on what you said earlier?
Yes, this idea of if I don't get well ever, like whatever those emotions are, whatever those feelings are, I want you to hold that as your mantra, this idea of what if you never get better. Does that make sense?
Even when we say it.
I know, and that's why. And you need to let the sound come out, you need to let the emotion come out. Just let it happen. So one of these tracks. Alright, so I'm gonna go with track 5. The next couple of tracks are cool in the same kind of mellow thing. So if when the first track is over, you're done, let yourself finish, but if you're still going, keep going, and the music will just go on the next song, okay? Find your beginning spot. Now, typically, guidance is not used in authentic movement, but because we're working on a specific emotional issue, I might chime in here and there. Anything I say is only a guide. If it's not relevant to what you're experiencing, ignore it. If it's relevant, use it, okay? Here we go. All of that energy. Good job. It's cold. Here, let's go this way so we don't deal with the issue with the light. Good work. Okay, so now to yourself and to me, and Neve can come over here and sit behind us. Tell us what you felt as you went through that experience.
I faced head on if I want to be in this condition for the rest of my life. The message I got back was that I will still be loved.
I will still be loved. And how did that make you feel?
That's when I started to reach outside of myself, above, to connect with that divine love that will love me no matter what.
And how did that divine love make you feel?
Comforted and safe. And everyone's gonna be okay, whatever happens. But I can hear you. I love you no matter what. I love you. And I was telling myself that to love myself the way I am. No, I haven't been. I'm not any less worthy of love because I'm in this condition.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I am. Like I don't deserve love because I'm in this condition.
And you're beginning to see what your condition offers to other people and the rewards that it gives to them. I'm guessing you're seeing the connections that you have in your life because of the need for dependence that would not necessarily be there if you could do your own thing like most people do.
Yeah.
And there's lots of beautiful benefits from every obstacle, from every challenge that we have in our lives. Very good work. Very good first experience.
And there's a lot of pain in my body. A lot of my movements were moved, especially the left leg and foot is in so much pain all the time that move, that kind of pushed my movement. And then I could just stretch that leg and relieve. It's all super tight here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like iron bars going in my foot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so some of my movement was based on just my body wanting to relieve some pain.
Perfect. The more you do it, the more free you'll become with like expression, with like, oh, this is like obviously sadness, or this is obviously joy, or like whatever. But I always, even to this day, I start with just stretching, with tapping into what wants to move in the body.
Yeah.
And you feel one movement like leads to another movement, and you just become a part of that breath, like the breath. Like each breath leads to another breath. Each thought leads to another thought. Each sensation leads to another sensation. And as we allow that change, we're always talking about change, as we allow that change, that evolution to happen, the experience we have of friction, which is very often the mind wanting whatever is happening to be different than it is, that pattern, it's like it begins to dissolve. And you start to experience acceptance. And inside of that space, everything changes in its most natural way. And while I was watching, I felt fear, I felt weight, I felt searching. I felt sadness. I felt connection. And I felt like filling. I felt bliss. I felt opening.
It's all pretty spot on.
How'd you feel?
Before I left, because I missed the last part, but I felt intense trembling throughout my whole body.
Mm.
So I felt that fear in a very visceral and real way. And I felt all kinds of compassion flowing through. And I feel like that's one of Shayla's really strong gifts that she has in her heart, compassion for others. And it's in a sense of having compassion for ourselves as well during this time. That's important.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Awesome. Awesome stuff all around. Any thoughts or questions on what we experienced today or what we'll be experiencing in the future?
No future
Awesome.
predictions.
No future
It's gonna
predictions.
flow. I can
Unneeded.
tell you what I intend to have happen is I'd like to have it more. But when my energy's, it's been struggling this week as a result of probably the weekend and
Mhm.
everything is happening. But I envision feeling, having a fiery session with you, full on energy, and
Nice.
that's what I would like to experience.
I like that intention. I like that intention. And we'll get your ball blown up at your house, and when you can sit on a ball and move every day,
Yeah.
the work that we're doing here will go much deeper.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
High five. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Anybody that did tune in, anybody that made it this far, you really care about people. That's awesome. That's incredible. You know, nowadays, the Twitter attention span doesn't really make it possible to have real human experiences that are more than 130 characters. So the fact that anybody watches these videos all the way through really impresses me. And those people are the healers. Those people are the ones that care, that wanna learn to help people. And that's why I keep making them all freely available. So every session practically I've ever done with a client is on Google Hangouts. So hit me with any questions. Holler at her and tell her how awesome she is. You know, like whatever. We'll be back next time. We're gonna stick with Tuesdays and Thursdays right
I
now.
think so. Yeah, let's do Tuesday.
Same bat time, same bat channel, people.